Welcome back, it's me, Lou. I'm here for another action figure unboxing and review, and today from Mattel, in their DC Multiverse line, we are featuring Harley Quinn. Okay, so this is a figure that I purchased recently at a flea market. It was originally marked for $35, and then the seller brought it down to $25. And then when I bought the figure, he actually cut me a deal and cut the price down even further. So for me, it hit the sweet spot. This was something I bought for almost retail, when this figure first came out back in 2017. So you're looking at something that's already, wow, 6 years old. So I got this figure for a steal of a price because not that it's super expensive on the secondary market, but it's not necessarily cheap. This captures Harley during the transitional period between the New 52 era and at the beginning of DC Rebirth. It's very influenced by the artwork of artist Amanda Conner, which you can see right here. She's been long associated with the Harley Quinn character. Around this time period, the live action Suicide Squad movie was, I think, coming out, or might have come out already. And Margot Robbie, played the role of Harley Quinn. And they kind of pulled some influence from the Margot Robbie character into this one. You could tell with the blonde hair, with the pink and blue highlights. Because prior to this, towards the tail end of the New 52, this version of Harley Quinn in the comic books had the red and black hair, if you recall that. Beautiful looking package design. As you can see, this is the DC Multiverse style of box. Not to be confused with the DC Universe Classics, which was Mattel's long-standing DC line. Multiple accessories. You get the mother box, the mallet, the gag pistol, and I think these are like bolos. So yeah, really nice looking figure, great looking artwork. So it describes Harley as the predictable Harley Quinn is free from, I can't read that. It's like mind games and finally calling her own shots. Okay, now I grade it. The unpredictable Harley Quinn is free from Mr. J's mind games and finally calling her own shots. I don't know why I said shoes. The Build-A-Figure was, I think, the second time they offered this Luthor. This is Luthor in the Superman armor, but this time around it's Luthor with the Darkseid helmet, and he comes with a mother box. The previous version of this figure was just the plain Luthor head, and I think that belonged to the Lobo wave, if you remember that. Some of the other figures during this time period in this wave included Spoiler, Harley, Ray, Simon Baz, Vix, I think, is that Vixen? I think it's Vixen. Wonder Woman, and I think this might be Gotham by Gaslight Batman, I think. Alright, so let's get started and take this out. Very excited to get this action figure. I think it's at least with this action figure, I think it does a really stellar job of capturing the likeness of Harley during this time period and presenting her in such a really nice fashion. And we'll talk about that in a moment. Alright, so even though the box is kind of damaged, I don't want to obliterate it completely in case I change my mind. I want to hold on to it. So let's take this out carefully. This is a design of Harley that I'd love McFarlane Toys to tackle. I think McFarlane, if they did this version of Harley, I think it'd look fantastic. Especially with, their sculpting and the materials they use. I think they'd create a really special piece. There we go, we got it. Alright, so we have Harley Quinn. So this is about, the transitional period between New 52 and Rebirth. Beautiful looking figure. I love the facial expression. It's not like she's completely crazed. She has a very coy smile. And then, behind her eyes, you can tell that, she's probably scheming up some devious plan. It's cool to get a mother box accessory. You get the cool mallet. Let's take that out at least. Harley's trademark mallet. It looks really fun. Some of the other accessories, I believe these are bolo whips. I think there's the pistol with the gag, and let's take Harley out. Alright, you don't want to lose the mother box. If any accessory you don't want to lose is this. It's very cool. It falls out of the tray really easily, so just be aware of that. And then we have Harley Quinn. Fantastic looking action figure. So one thing I really appreciate with this figure is that they capture the female form in a very realistic manner. You know, she's not overly endowed with like a super large chest. You know, her curves are very subtle. You know, it's not a very like, you know, exaggerated design. You know, this is a very realistic female form, and I could really appreciate the designer who, you know, took the time to do that, because often, you know, especially with female figures, they're kind of like objectified and overly sexualized sometimes, which, you know, it's, you know, in this day and age, I think we should, not that we need to move beyond that, but it's just nice every now and then to get something that's portrayed a little bit more realistically. And it's just a cute looking figure, you know, it looks great. You know, she retains the traditional Harley color scheme. I love the transition and the hair color from the blonde to the pinks and the blues. You know, this really kind of captures the Margot Robbie style of Harley Quinn, the first Suicide Squad film. So yeah, it's a nice figure, really well done. The articulation's definitely outdated, you know, considering this thing's like 6 years old. You know, the head moves, arms move, and they go outward. I think only single pinned elbow, unfortunately. Yeah, just a single pin on it. Articulated wrists. Cut beneath the breast line so she could kind of roll around a little. There is no swivel at the waist, which is unfortunate. So any kind of like motion you want to do going from side to side has to be done through this joint. Legs kick up, they kick outward. There's a thigh cut. Unfortunately, it's not that clean of a cut. As you can see, it doesn't line up perfectly with the lower leg piece. Double pinned knees and articulated ankles. And yeah, this is a nice figure overall. Really nice design. And it's cool. You know, this was during a time period where Harley's costume was just constantly evolving. I kind of credit the Arkham line of video games for that, because for the longest period of time, she was always associated with the original Jester costume from the animated series. And then when the Arkham games came out, you know, they kind of gave her the nurse outfit, and then they kind of evolved the look later on with the leathers. So it was just, I think, a natural progression of taking different influences and just, you know, creating a very cohesive looking character. And I always kind of felt this was a really nice design. So I think it's a great figure. Again, you know, I can't applaud Mattel enough for, you know, being, you know, a little bit minded in terms of the presentation of the character. A very realistic female form. You know, it's not like she's overly endowed. The facial expression, it's not like she's super crazy. You know, it's just the right hint of madness going on in her head. And the hair looks great. You know, everything about this figure is just awesome. If this is something you can find on the secondary market for a very affordable price, I would suggest pulling the trigger on it. It's a beautiful piece. Scale-wise, here she is next to the older McFarlane designed Batman figure. Keep in mind, the older McFarlane DC stuff is a lot larger in scale than the newer figures. Here she is next to a Hasbro Marvel Legends Vulcan. So you know, the older Mattel stuff, they're perfect. And if you want to, like, you know, display them next to like the Hasbro Marvel stuff, you know, they're both 6-inch scale. Right, so with that being said, let's wrap this one up. Once again, my name is Lou. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you are a returning viewer, subscriber, thank you so much for your continued support. I greatly appreciate it. So until the next video, be safe, take care of yourself, buy lots of toys, and most importantly, be happy. And I'll see you at the next one. All right, later.